Hi and welcome everyone. In this demo, we are going to talk about the Sitecore-Pardot Connector developed by edynamic. Here's a scenario portraying the end user step-by-step activity on website based out of Sitecore and email campaigns deployed via Pardot marketing automation tool. Here each activity that is traceable in Pardot is getting updated in Sitecore parallelly. Similarly, the activities traceable in Sitecore are getting updated in Pardot. You can further utilize this data for site personalization or any upcoming events. Say there's a user visiting my website and he might show interest in any upcoming events or webinars showcased on my website. Or let's make it more simple. There's any form on my website integrated from Pardot and the end user might be interested in filling up that web form. Now, whatever information this end user is filling up on my website or the features, for example, webinars, events he's showing interest in are all getting stored in my Sitecore database. Later, when an email campaign is planned to run through Pardot, this end user is forwarded the data in form of emails or the webcast link he showed interest in. Now, since the user prefers to open up an email on any of his prioritized devices, this information along with all the other activities of user gets stored as metadata into the Pardot and Sitecore simultaneously. This helps creating an end user profile persona into the Sitecore, which further can be used efficiently for site personalization and cater the customers. Let us go through some benefits of delivering the Sitecore Pardot integration. You can leverage the personalization of web pages within Sitecore and data still being managed with Pardot, enabling a single view of the prospect. Sitecore web form for marketers are something that clients can place on Sitecore web pages that are dynamically configured from Pardot. Sitecore-Pardot Integrator helps marketers leverage Sitecore-based landing pages and take advantage of the advanced personalization and analytics within Sitecore CMS not available in hypersites. Content and assets from Sitecore. Usually content authors, marketers prefer storing rich data in Sitecore. So instead of importing the assets stored in Sitecore to Pardot, you can maximize its usage by associating email templates in Sitecore to Pardot campaigns. We will focus on this through live example later in this video. Integrating email templates in Sitecore with Pardot to create emails using Pardot's editor feature and driving campaigns through Pardot. Similarly, using template in Pardot helps in creation of emails using Sitecore's page editor and further send emails to Sitecore. All this is possible through the Sitecore-Pardot connector. Now let's take a look at the live integration between Sitecore and Pardot. On the screen, you can see a Sitecore login interface, and on the other hand, we have a successfully logged in Pardot account. Going back to Sitecore login page, so let's log into the Sitecore interface. So this is the Sitecore interface, which says that we successfully logged in to the Sitecore. Going over to the content editor. So content editor, this is what is the content hierarchy for this particular Sitecore interface. So now let's expand the home node. Under the home node, it has the different directory which are blogs, email connector, par.email, events, and news. But for the time being, for the live association between Sitecore and Pardot, we are only concerned with the email connector. So we'll expand this directory. So you can see on the screen left navigation menu, this my email test, sample email. These all are the sample email items which we can associate from Sitecore to Pardot. So email connector in short serves as the parent directory for all the sample emails under it. So talking about all the sample emails, so this is the feature. So these are all the details for all the sample email items associated with Pardot campaigns. So now talking about the sample email items, these are constructed with the help of template, it's email template, and all the fields, that's the email ID, from email, from name to email. All these fields are associated to these sample email items. Now talking about some main feature, the core feature of this Sitecore Pardot connection, what's the success of this Sitecore Pardot, or how we can achieve the beauty of this Sitecore Pardot. So now talking about is HTML feature. So this is the utmost beauty of the Sitecore Pardot connectivity. So is HTML feature. Now say the content writers and the admin, as we talked about, they prefer storing up their data, that's the rich data in the Sitecore in the form of assets. So now importing these assets from Sitecore to Pardot, it can be a tedious job. So instead of importing, we can directly associate them with the help of emails from Sitecore to Pardot. That stands the beauty of this connectivity. Going further, let's look at the live association from the scratch. So we'll go to the parent directory and we'll create a new sample email item. So inserting from the template. So here's the template. That's the same template, email template, and we'll name the item. So let's name it. So under the email connector, you can see a new sample email item has been constructed with the name Sitecore-Pardot Connection demo. So now again, this is from the same template, that's the email template, and it has all the fields associated to this, but the fields are appearing blank, so we'll be entering on the data in these fields one by one. So email ID, it's again the same. To name, let's MLA. To email. So now navigating to the is HTML feature. So now if we check this is HTML feature, it gives us many add-ons to be added for sample emails associated to the Pardot campaigns. So now going further and taking a deep dive on what this HTML features talks about, say click on the show editor. So this show editor is this text editor. So in short, it gives us much more features than what a Microsoft Word document has to offer, and it has much more than that in it. So like we can add or we can append any images, any PDF files, or any text which is stored in the Sitecore media library. You can have that appended into the sample email message over here itself in the rich text editor. So portraying the feature of this one, let's make it a simple one. So welcome to. So now this is a normal text, but now I'm going to make it the bold and italic, and then accepting the text. So as you can see on the screen, under the show editor text box, there's a welcome to edynamic Sitecore-Pardot Connector demo. The text is in bold and italic. So now the subject, so it has much more fields associated with it, the bounce back email, the email footer ID, and much more fields. But for the timing to show the live association, we're only focusing on the mandate information to be added. So now let's go further and save this information. So we'll go and preview the interface, that what kind of email is going to generate that is going to be associated from Sitecore to Pardot. So if you preview it, but it says that the current item doesn't have any presentations added onto it. So let's go to the presentations, and talking about the details, we'll add the layout. So see on this control, there's no layout specified for this. So we'll go and add it, editing the same. It's a layout. So this layout, expanding the Pardot connector, as you can see this Pardot connector. This Pardot connector is what the custom interface which has been created by edynamic for live association between Sitecore and Pardot. So this is the beauty. So it's the total interface. This layout, it helps in creating an interface wherein we can see what of the emails from the email connector directory, or which email, or what about the data for that email, and the message and the HTML features, what email I'm going to associate to which email campaign running over there in the Pardot. So let's go and add this. So now you can see Pardot connector has been added under the controls. Going okay, let's saving this, the item saved, and now let's go and preview it. It's taking some time. Yeah. So as you can see on the screen, this is what it is. This edynamic Salesforce Pardot connectivity interface. So now this select Sitecore email and the Pardot campaign. These are the two main drop down links in this particular interface, which tells us and asks us that which email from Sitecore you want to associate to which Pardot campaign. So going on expanding the select Sitecore email field, it has all the emails which I have created under the email connector directory. So all the emails, my email test, Sitecore-Pardot connection, and so on, all of these are over here. So whatever email I select over here, it will go and fetch all the information stored in those fields over here. So now the Sitecore-Pardot connection demo, I asked it to associate the data for this. So now the HTML of selected item. So going back over here onto the HTML field, welcome to edynamic. So now we can see that this text is italic over here, but now over here into the field it has added the HTML text. So that's what is the beauty of this Sitecore-Pardot connectivity. So is HTML feature, it adds the HTML tags and much more than that. It has much more features what we have showcased over here. So now email name, email subject, sender email, sender name, all those data that's coming over from this sample email items, that the fields, we have added data in. So all is getting fetched over, it got fetched over here. So now the Pardot campaign. So now this is the most important thing. The Pardot campaign, this talks about which sample email. Now the sample email, we picked up the Sitecore-Pardot connection demo. So this part, now which campaign to be associated with in Pardot. So we can have n number of campaigns running in at a time in Pardot. So we can select which campaign do you want this email associated to be. Talking about switching to the Pardot account, this is the Pardot account. So this is the test campaign. So now moving back, so we have only the edynamic test campaign right now to be associated with. So we'll go and associate it to the Pardot edynamic test campaign account. So the reply to email and email text content, as we discussed, that we only filled in the mandate information. So you can fill all of these, but these were the mandate to showcase the live association. Now we'll go further with associating the sample email to the Pardot account. So now you'll see an alert will appear onto the screen. So here it is. Your email has been created, which says that the sample email item we created in Sitecore has been successfully associated to the Pardot account. So going back to the Pardot account. So let's go and refresh this. So now you can see on this activity column, the email Sitecore-Pardot Connector demo has been successfully created and associated to this campaign. So let's go and review the information under it. So it says that this name says that the Sitecore-Pardot Connector demo. So it's the same name where we add the Sitecore-Pardot Connector demo, and then the sender was the John, and then the information all we added there is all reflecting over here in the Pardot account. So the message, so now see the message over here, it itself says that it's not a text message, it's an HTML message. Even though it's a normal text, but it's not, it has some HTML tags appended onto it, which we can see over here into this interface, the EM and the strong tag, so which makes it to be an HTML message. But you can still enjoy the much more additional features, over there is HTML tags. So you can append anything, any assets from Sitecore, and you can have those onto the campaigns easily without importing any data from Sitecore to Pardot. So this is it. Now we have successfully associated our email from Sitecore to Pardot. So that's all we had in this session. Hope you guys had a great time understanding the Sitecore-Pardot connector. If you're interested in more features of the same, you can contact us at www.edynamic.net. Thanks for your time and have a nice day.